The giants of the earth are not always the ones who block the sun. Sometimes they are the ones who keep the world moving beneath our feet. Leo sat on a weathered stone bench in his grandfather's garden, his head buried in his hands. At 24, he felt like a finished man. A failed business venture and a string of rejected applications had left him paralyzed. "I'm done, Silas," Leo muttered to the old man standing over a flower bed. "I have the talent, but I keep falling apart. Maybe I'm just not built for the weight of success." Silas didn't offer a hollow platitude. Instead, he knelt on the grass, his eyes fixed on a patch of dirt. "Come here, Leo. I want to show you 5 warnings from God, hidden in plain sight." Leo frowned, but knelt beside him. On the ground, a thin, black line of ants moved with mechanical precision. "Before we look," Silas said, "we must improve your vocabulary. To change your life, you must first change the words you use to describe it." 1. The warning of discipline. Silas pointed to a lone ant carrying a crumb 3 times its size. "Look at this creature. No one watches it. No one pushes it. Yet it keeps moving, carrying, and building. This is diligence, a vital English word meaning careful and persistent work or effort. Many people," Silas continued, "claim they want to change only to be defeated not by an enemy, but by their own procrastination, the action of delaying or postponing something. They wait for a feeling of motivation, but the ant doesn't wait for a feeling, it simply moves because it must. If you cannot lead yourself when no one is watching, you will never lead others when everyone is." 2. The warning of foresight. The garden was peaceful, the air still and warm. Yet, the ants were working as if a blizzard was minutes away. Notice they aren't just eating, they are storing. This is foresight, the ability to predict what will be needed in the future. Silas looked at Leo. Truly wise people do not start fixing things after everything falls apart. They begin preparing before the trouble even comes. You must build your infrastructure, the basic physical and organizational structures you need, while the sun is still shining. Don't wait for the rain of a crisis to realize your roof has holes. 3. The warning of unity. Silas placed a large, dry leaf directly over the ant's path. Immediately, a dozen ants swarmed the obstacle. They didn't fight for space. They positioned themselves around the edges and moved the massive weight together. "This is synergy," Silas said. "It comes from the Greek word for working together. One ant is weak, but together they carry things far greater than their own size." A lot of people are not struggling because they lack ability, but because they are too self-centered, too divided, and too determined to fight alone. If you want to go far, Leo, you must learn to walk with others. 4. The warning of humility. "Look at that hill," Silas said, gesturing to a masterpiece of engineering. "Does the ant show off? Does it draw attention to itself? No, it has humility, a modest view of one's own importance." Through the ant, God shows us this. A life with real weight is not always the one that looks the most impressive. This is true integrity, the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. The ant doesn't care about the applause of the garden. It cares about the survival of the colony. Work for the purpose, not the praise. 5. The warning of perseverance. Finally, Silas took a small twig and scattered the line of ants. He expected them to hide. Instead, the ants gathered again almost immediately. They climbed over the twig or found a new path around it. "This is the part that cuts the deepest," Silas whispered. "Many humans show less endurance than a bug. We hit one obstacle, a thing that blocks one's way, and we quit. But the ant has resilience, the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. They don't ask why the path is blocked, they just find another way, they fall, and they get back up." The new foundation. Leo stood up, brushing the dirt from his knees. For the first time in months, the fog in his mind had cleared. He looked at the tiny creatures again, no longer seeing pests, but mentors. "So," Silas smiled, "what is the lesson?" I've been waiting for a sign from the sky, Leo realized, when the answer was at my feet all along. Discipline, foresight, unity, humility, and perseverance. These aren't just words, they are the floor of a successful life. Exactly, Silas nodded. Don't let fear or laziness write the story of your life. You are capable of more than the walls you've built to feel safe. If you also believe that sometimes God's deepest reminders are hidden in the most unnoticed things, then carry this lesson with you. Lord, teach me to live like the ant,